All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the review of the Star Wars Unlimited Double Deck Pod, brought to you by Gamegenic. Now, we want to be transparent up front and let everybody know that this box was sent to us by Gamegenic to do a review. We did not pay for this, we did not pick this up, but we're going to be completely and totally honest and give you our thoughts on this box. So just because they sent it to us for free does not influence in any way what we think. But we do want to say a big thank you to Gamegenic for just being so incredibly kind and giving us this opportunity to take a look at one of the coolest accessories in 2024. So here you can see all of the different things that the Deckbox can do, but let's crack it open for ourselves and have some fun. So first up, let's take a look at the box itself. So this is going to have all of the standard Gamegenic doodads, notation, stamping. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. As you can see here, you've got that faux leather kind of feeling. It's a little bit closer to plastic, so it doesn't really scoot around on the table. And then here you've got your leaders, but let's take off this top case. You've got that embossed Star Wars Unlimited. It feels so good here. It's like a really nice inner feel. And then here you've got two different decks. So before we get started, we want to make one amend to our prior review. So we had said that these boxes can hold 100 cards for your Magic the Gathering Commander. And unfortunately, that is not true. So here is a 50 card standard single sleeve deck for Star Wars Unlimited. And for, transparency's sake, I don't know what I was thinking, but when we came back from the Star Wars Unlimited event in Minnesota, here's 100 cards, unsleeved. It totally fits. There is no problem getting 100 cards in this deck box unsleeved. So when somebody asked me, do 100 cards fit? I was like, yeah, they totally do. Well, unfortunately, they don't when they're sleeved. So here are 80 cards. And here are the other 20 cards that, are supposed to go into your commander deck. So unfortunately, if you notice here, this can max out at 80 cards single sleeve. Now, the cool thing about this is when we play Twin Suns in the future, currently you're running 50 cards singleton, and you can single or double sleeve these. And once we get to set like 3 or 4, the deck size is going to go up to 80 cards. So they did future-proof this deck box by allowing you to have 80 cards single sleeved in the deck pod. And I think that's a really great idea. But for those who want to use this for Commander, including myself, the single deck pod will not work. The dual deck pod will, because you could put your extra cards, you could put like 50 here, 50 there, or 80 there, and 20 here. But for the sake of like the single deck pod, this cannot hold an entire commander deck on its own. It's got the exact same size. Let's pull this out. So this is going to have the exact same height for cards that this does. It's basically 2 copies of this slapped into one box here. So sorry about that. We apologize again. But let's put the 50 card single sleeved deck back. Here's the Vader. Cool story. This is 60 double sleeved cards. So you can get a double sleeved standard deck in here. Plus you can have 10 double sleeved cards for your sideboard, and they will fit comfortably inside of the deck pod. On top of that, you can see these here. We're going to do a review of the double sleeve kit from Gamegenic in a future video. But yes, good news. Double sleeved, 60 maximum. Single sleeved, 80 maximum. Works great. And then if we go to the rest of the pod, you've got 2 slots for tokens. So you can sub this out for any other token box that you've got, if you've got other deck pods, other colors. So these all are interchangeable. They fit right in. You can see right there, not a problem. And then these sides here are magnetized to the side of the deck box. So you can easily close it, open it. You can have your magnets, right here, right there. And then again, you can put your lid back on, or you could put your deck box back on top, and then, put this out on your board. So the idea behind this deck pod is you can either use it for 2 players, which I have seen happen at our local pre-release. We had father and son combo, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. This is just really efficient for bringing 2 individual decks, and then you can also, take your lid off, and then boom, you can play your leader right out of the gate. So you pull out your base, you pull out your leader, and then when you're playing the game, you can, do that. Super cool, super easy. And then your opponent can do the same on the other side of the board. So this is pretty much the ultimate way to transport either 2 individual decks for you and somebody else, or you can bring 2 decks you want to play at your locals. Maybe you're playing a competitive event and a casual event. You kind of get to pick however you want this to interact with your Star Wars Unlimited gaming experience, which is really cool. All right, so what do we think about this deck box? Is this worth your purchase? Should you pick up one of these deck boxes? I think you should, but there's a couple things you want to think about. So first of all, you've got the dual deck box, the dual deck pod, and the single deck pod. So I like having both, because if I'm going to an event and I want to try multiple decks, this is perfect. If I'm going to a tournament, a regional, a national, a worlds event, I'm probably only going to need one thing, and so I'll just bring the single deck. This is an amazing set of accessories from Gamegenic. Like, I can't say enough good things about it, because they're so efficient, they're so cool, they just get the job done so well. But let's talk about the dual deck pod specifically. So for $60, is this worth your money? I think it is. Now, for some people, they're going to hear that number and sticker shock is going to kick in. They're going to go, oh my God, why would I pay $60 for a deck box? I can get, cheap ones for like $2 or $3. That's true. I do agree. However, this is a premium accessory. So if you notice here, there's all kinds of stitching along the side. You've got magnets inside of your lid. You've got magnets on the side. You've got stitched inner casing with embossed stamping for your tokens. Like, this is the highest of ends in terms of just carrying your cards. Is it for everyone? No, absolutely not. Some people are going to hate it, some people are going to love it. But really what this deck box provides is incredibly good protection for your cards. And that's the thing that I value. I don't mind having, cheaper deck boxes, more expensive deck boxes, but if I'm going to an event and I'm going to bring my, competitive deck, I want to make sure that I know that that deck, those cards are going to be safe, and this box is absolutely going to protect those cards. It is tough. It feels amazing. It's not cheap. These are premium details inside of this box. And you can see it's a big box. Like, it's chunky. And I like that. It's just got a really good feel, a really good heft, and it's going to just get the job done. The other cool thing is, if I only need one deck, I can close it up, play with that deck, shuffle it up. And then if I'm tired of playing with this one, and, me and a friend are, done with our best 2 out of 3, we can say, hey, let's switch decks up. Cool. Well, I've already got my second deck ready to rock and roll. Let me pull out my leader, let me pull out my base, and we can just get jamming. So the nice thing about this is just the versatility, the high quality, and it looks good. It looks really, really cool. Every single person who bought one at the pre-release events, all of the people next to them were asking, what in the world is that? Where can I get it? And of course, support your local friendly game store. If you're at, your locals and you're playing weekly events and you want to pick this up, don't go to Amazon, don't go on, Discount Steve's Super Deluxe Hyper Deck Box store. Pick this up at your local game store, because if you're going to play, you want to make sure that you're helping keep those doors open and pay for, that person's dream to keep that business going. So this is 100% A+. Absolutely worth taking a look at. The double deck pod from Star Wars Unlimited, produced by Gamegenic. Definitely a winner in your collection. You ought to check it out. And one thing we noticed is a lot of game stores actually have demos of the dual deck pod and the single deck pod available to open up, to touch, to kind of get a feel for. So if you're on the fence about, hey, I kind of like this review and I think it's cool, I'm just not sure, go to your local game store, ask for them to see if they've got one of these demos, and just bust it out and get your hands on it. It's a very, very cool box, and I think the big thing that I like the most is it's just very tactile. Like, the inside of the deck box feels really nice. It's incredibly soft. Oops, put my cards back in so I don't damage them. Yikes. Here, go there. Boop. The token boxes are just really, really high quality. Like, they feel nice. They've got that same faux leather feeling, stitching all across. On the inside, it's going to hold an entire set of those premium tokens, or the tokens you get in your pre-release box. Like, this is perfect for dice, anything really. It's just the perfect size, and you get 2 of them, and it looks really good. Put that on there. The other cool thing, I don't know if I mentioned this, these cases are UV resistant. So whenever you're going to have these cards out and about, if you're playing in a store where there's a lot of sunlight, or you're putting the deck box on your desk, or you're just playing it somewhere where people can see, hey, here's my super cool Luke Skywalker Judge promo that I got for, helping judge a pre-release. Well, over time, you don't want the sunlight to damage the card. You don't want to damage the intensity and the color. So Gamegenic not only provided a case for your card, but it's UV resistant. That means you're going to have more longevity. The lifespan and beauty of the card is longer. And there's just that layer of thought to protect your cards, your investment, your collection, that so many deck boxes don't have. And I'm not trying to down anybody. I'm just saying the team at Gamegenic thought about premium product, magnetic ease of use, being able to, flip these up or down, being able to keep your leader on the front of your deck box so you can look and see, oh, hey, this is the deck box that's holding my Vader and Luke deck. Super cool. A lot of decks don't have any way to, visually see what's inside. You have to put a sticker or a note or something. This is just easy. You just put it on the side of your bookshelf and you can see, hey, here's my Vader list, here's my Sabine deck. You can just very quickly grab what you need, go to locals, and man, it's a blast. So definitely check out this deck box. Check out both the single deck pod, check out the double deck pod from Gamegenic. Again, big thank you to Fantasy Flight Games and Gamegenic for sending this review copy. We are 100% going to be taking this to locals after we get our release kit, because there's a bunch of booster boxes we're going to be cracking, a lot of decks we want to try. I've got a couple of Luke and Chewbacca decks I'm going to try building. But yeah, go to your local game store, support them, pick up one of these double deck pods, and you'll be really happy you did. These are super cool. So thanks so much for joining us. We will see everybody next time. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this video so we can tell everybody how cool these deck pods are. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.